Happy Roe v. Wade reversal day. I'm watching the Washington Post YouTube feed. It's wild. All I've known is Roe v. Wade. All I've ever known is a country that had across the board legalized abortion. The North Carolina decision, if you didn't see it, was 8-1. And I heard Ken Kuklowski on Breitbart this morning talking about this. And it's a terrific decision for conservatives. So North Carolina passed a voter ID law like 3 years ago. So this wasn't necessarily in response to 2020. They'd been on. They wanted to be in front of that all that mess. Well, of course, it passes the North Carolina legislature, and the Democrat governor there vetoed it. And then the North Carolina legislature overrode his veto, right? So they had a veto-proof majority. And the NAACP, among others, sue to stop the implementation of the voter ID law that was passed in North Carolina. And the governor there, Democrat, and the attorney general there, Democrat, refused to defend the legislature. So the legislature sued and got all the way up to the Supreme Court and said, look, if in this special circumstance, if we've passed, we represent the will of the voters. If we've passed something and for political purposes, the opposition party, in this case, governor, attorney general, refused to defend our law vigorously and aggressively in court, then we should be able to do that and give it the most robust defense possible. And they won. The Supreme Court agreed, 8-1. The only one that dissented was Sotomayor. So that was a big one. I mean, the gun case from New York got the most attention, but the North Carolina voter ID law potentially more important. Is somebody playing? Somebody's playing Rage Against the Machine through a loudspeaker down there. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, see, look, here, listen, I'll turn it up. Wait, where'd it go? Dun, dun, do what you told you. Dun, dun. Uh-oh. Cheering. Oh. Holy smokes. Yes. Holy smokes. Oh, I never. Wow. I never would have imagined that. Ever. The Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, eliminating the constitutional right to abortion, even though there was no constitutional right. That's according to the SCOTUS blog, very popular. Oh my gosh, look at all these pro-lifers crying. Oh, look at Kristen Hawkins from Students for Life, man. She's down there in the scrum. I think that's her. Good for her. Wow. Oh my gosh, this pro-aborts just started screaming. Turn that one down. Dude, what a momentous... Wow. Moment of silence. That's Kristen Hawkins. She said Students for Life.
7 men getting an egregious decision. Today we need a moment of silence for the 63 million of my generation. Men and women.
It's true. Gen X. The reason Gen X is the smallest
For the millions of mothers and fathers who've been
because of
lied to
abortion.
by the predatory abortion industry. Who've been lied to and were told it was nothing but a blob of
Because Gen X has been aborted.
Today, Roe vs. Wade made its way into the actions of history where it belongs, along with Quincy, along with Dredd.
Please be safe. Please be safe. Please be safe.
I need my phone.
I wonder if the opinion was changed in any way from the draft.
God, we just pray.
You got a hat tip science too. I mean, you know, as Gen X has grown up and started having babies, like we weren't seeing like these grainy sonograms, this blob of nothingness. I mean, if it wasn't 3-dimensional imagery, it was sometimes 4-dimensional imagery. I mean, it was a baby right there, pictured in your belly, pictured. What else was it other than a child? And so now, politically, I mean, you'll see the colors on the map, red versus blue, will basically be pro-life versus pro-abortion states. Your state will be defined by your pro-life policy. And the good news is that no longer you can't say the United States of America is pro-abortion. Now, certain states are going to be. It'll just be interesting to see, really, just not tomorrow, not next week, but in a couple of years from now. Do you want to live in a pro-life state or a pro-abortion state? We're such a young country. We're babies in the history of the world, and I think years from now we'll look back and we'll say, yeah, those that committed to being pro-life states are going to be the successful ones, the rich ones, not rich by wealth, but just rich in culture, diversity, spirit, passion. And those that are going to be, abortion sanctuary states, I just think they're going to be devoid of those things. Your passion for life, your passion for living, your passion for teaching, passing down the skills that you've acquired to younger people. It just won't be rich. There won't be rich communities. And again, not rich by wealth, rich in maybe perhaps everything else but wealth. That's not to say that pro-life states won't be wealthy. But it's not really important. What's important is setting the example for the generation behind you. And thank President Trump. Without Coney Barrett, and Gorsuch, I had my doubts about Kavanaugh, believe me. Yeah, Susan Collins must be just steaming mad. It's not going to change this may not change the number of abortions that are held that take place in this country. It may not. But for what we stand for and our place in the pantheon of history, it's more important than any election ever. Ever. Everything, dollars, cents, taxes and spending, it just pales in comparison. Because if you're willing to abort a baby as a federal policy, if you're willing to abort a baby, you're willing to do just about anything else. And that will no longer be the case. I'm going to go celebrate. I suggest you do too. Say a prayer. Congratulations to those of you who have been involved in the fight. Yeah.